The presence of black people in the United States is a result of both forced migration through the transatlantic slave trade and, much later, voluntary immigration. The transatlantic slave trade. Early arrivals, people of African descent were present in North America with early Spanish explorers in the 16th century. However, the uninterrupted history of black people in the English colonies, which would become the U.S., began in August 1619, when 20-odd Negroes were brought to Jamestown, Virginia. Shift to slavery. Initially, these first Africans may have been treated as indentured servants, similar to many poor Europeans. However, within a few decades, the colonies began to legally establish the system of racialized chattel slavery, primarily for economic reasons. Economic drivers. European settlers in the rapidly growing North American colonies turned to enslaved Africans as a cheaper and more plentiful labor source for plantations, especially in the South, where crops like tobacco, rice, and later cotton were highly profitable. Scale of the trade. An estimated 12.5 million Africans were forcibly transported across the Atlantic Ocean by European and American traders over the span of 400 years. Around 388,000 of these enslaved people were brought directly to the British colonies that later formed the United States, with others arriving via the Caribbean seasoning process. Legality and rights. By the 1660s, laws were enacted across the 13 colonies that cemented the institution of slavery, legally defining black people as property, chattel, with no rights. Slavery remained a core part of the U.S. economy for over 2 centuries, until its abolition in 1865. Post-slavery migration. In more recent history, the black population in the U.S. has also grown due to voluntary immigration. Changes in U.S. immigration policy in the 1960s, such as the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965, opened the door for more migrants from Africa and the Caribbean, emphasizing family reunification and skilled labor. As of 2019, approximately 1 in 10 black people in the U.S. were foreign-born immigrants.